Good day, students. This is Professor Hoban, and this is CHRTC 381, and this is week 6 recap of the discussion board posts. Thank you for your posts. The main focus of these posts were to either reflect on something in the past on religious education that tells you what kind of religious educator you would like to be, or to think about your own experience. And most people wrote on their own experience. So thank you for that. It was heartfelt, and you got me thinking about the course, how I need to do it differently. I'm always learning, and thanks for that. At the same time, a lot of your complaints and thoughts are common things I've heard over the years. So you're not alone in this, and hopefully we're the part of some larger movement to make change and to make better religious education here in Alberta. Let's look at the negative critique of RE, your experience of RE growing up. People didn't find much enjoyment out of the high school online courses. The value, it was kind of back burner stuff. You did it to get your check mark to graduate in a Catholic school. Often it wasn't consistent courses from year to year in junior high, high school, and whatnot. There was a sense that there wasn't much enthusiasm for many of your teachers to teach religion. It was a task they were told to do. Boy, is this sounding negative, isn't it? Somebody mentioned the lack of support for the LGBTQ community at your school, and then somebody responded and said there was a lot of support for them. So a mixed bag. That's what I think we saw with that particular example. But RE across the board was that it really depended on the teacher and how much they were willing to put into it. If they didn't put their heart into it, it seemed kind of superficial. Some teachers could be strict, and there you run the risk of indoctrination even. If you're just having kids fill out answer sheets all the time, it might be easier for the teacher, but we have to stop and think it's not just poor education, but in terms of religion, that's indoctrination. You can't just force people to believe something. That's just wrong. But I think sometimes we get complacent, or teachers get complacent. There has to be more to an education than that. And again, even Catholic schools on a whole, people wrote about the varied experiences, and that some schools felt more intuitively religious and others didn't. In of course, our students' experiences. Movies, let's not watch a bunch of movies in religious ed. I think we can agree on that. And somebody noted world religions being taught, which I'm glad that was noted. The positive, let's look at this. People spoke about an authentic person of faith as the teacher and what an impact that made. Whether it be a mom, a principal, a teacher, somebody who was on their practicum wrote about faith permeation in their program, and somebody talked about a teacher speaking with them after religion class about the Bible and explaining things to them and answering hard questions. That was inspirational. I think you can see what a difference you made in religion, what you can do with religion class. The example of the junior high teacher who would stay after school on Thursdays and take kids volunteering in different charities. Wow, what an impact. And junior high kids would eat that up. And man, that's just fabulous. Here, others mentioned connections to parishes. So the local church were really impactful. Different church organizations like the Marian Center, Catholic Social Services, oh, good Lord, what's that one downtown? The Mustard Seed. It came to me. Or else even archdiocesan, like larger church events, youth events. These are really impactful. People wrote about the need to be inclusive, merciful communities in our schools. When we think about religious education, more particular, proper, I guess, in the course, somebody noted the value of questions and for critical reflection. Isn't that the truth? That we need space to ask hard questions. And as a leader, as a teacher, you're seen as a mentor. So your questioning is just that's really hard. Yeah, I think people question that or wonder about it. Of course, you don't want to say, yeah, I don't know if I believe in the church's teaching that God became a human in Jesus Christ, right? You're kind of rocking the boat a little too much on something so fundamental to Christianity. But you can say, boy, I can see why people would find that difficult to believe. What do Christians say about that, right? That seems, in a secular world, in this world of doubt, that seems like a reasonable thing to say. And I think that's being authentic and searching. You also mentioned connections to the real world and thinking about things at the real heart of life. What's concerning for our young people these days, and talking about them and relating that to faith. Man, that'd be powerful religious education. So good knowledge and even leading to reconciliation, somebody wrote. Uh, whether it be with indigenous peoples or just in our school communities, however that is, if religion could, boy, if you came with a mindset of reconciliation in your religion class every day you taught it, boy, would that make an impression on young people. Somebody else noted, and a student affirmed this, was, going beyond the textbook, seeking out that social dimension of faith, that interactive. Religion isn't done on your own. We're not hermits, but churches form, people gather. That's an important element. There's the social side, of course, there's the intellectual side, and there's that giving of oneself, of charity, of finding time to volunteer. That's an important part of religious life. It shows that our society in general can be pretty flaky over consumerism and buying this and that. And that work of volunteerism, of giving oneself, how it feels good. God made us to feel good when we give, and it's a real gift. I appreciated Arij, her writing about a mosque experience, and her having religious ed in her Islamic faith. And I thought what was good about that, she offered both positives about it. It was a real modeling of virtue and the importance of some teachings and how she carries it, patience, kindness, fruits of the spirit, we would say in Christian terms. And then also she criticized some teachers who seemed to be doing it more out of a requirement than from their heart. And so she wrote about that we need to teach religious education from the heart. And I thought that kind of sums up a lot of what people wrote, isn't it? To be more holistic, to teach from the head, the heart, and the hands, that volunteering, right? If we draw those three things together, man, will junior high kids eat that up. And high school will think it's thoughtful and engaging in their world. It's great, something interactive. I think I'm going to leave off with one last point, in that hopefully in your reflection on religious ed, it made you think, what kind of a religion teacher do I want to be? It's hard work, but we can see the influence and the impact and the support we can have for young kids. And if you ever want to think more about it, of course, you can take CHRTC 410. I'm doing the cell job. It is integrative learning in Catholic education, and you get to interview educators about faith in schools and what that means to them, and all sorts of things. You can ask them anything, and it's a time to shape your own thinking about what kind of teacher you want to become. But we did a pretty good job here too. All right, thanks so much. We'll see you in E-class.